I'm learning a lot of humility this month is what's going on for me. My warrior is being fully put in its place.
Oh,
And yeah, it's been interesting. I'm actually quite happy about it really because it feels it feels surprisingly good to let go of the fight and find the humility in things. It's been a long time just working out what it means really. So now I'm keep reaching it. I'm feeling kind of good, and I keep having to go back and read my own newsletter to remind myself what the fuck's going on this month, why it's so shitty. It's been a challenge. It really has. I hope you have enjoyed your challenges. Oh, I need to get some water. I'll be 2 seconds.
How are you ladies getting on?
yeah, okay. I'm a bit tired tonight, so I feel like a bit, spacey, but otherwise all right. And you?
Yeah.
Yes, similar actually. Tired tonight, and today's been manic day. So yeah.
Yeah, gosh.
Yeah, tired as well.
And you
Generally
got sick
tired.
as well.
I got absolutely drenched. My shoes are ruined. So
Bless.
yeah, we had
Anna,
torrential rain.
Yes.
can I ask you where you are in terms of location? Because I probably like a session.
At the moment, I'm in Cornwall.
Okay.
I am coming back to, well, weirdly enough, I'm actually going to be in Guildford Monday, Tuesday. I've got a funeral Monday, and then I'm finally going to see a doctor for my hip, which will be glorious, I'm sure. And so there, I can see someone on Tuesday morning if you were interested, which is what's next Tuesday, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th. So I am going to be there for that morning, but I'm in a flash in and out. And then I'm probably coming back properly to work face to face, if that's what you want, face to face.
Yeah, 28 works actually. Tuesday works.
Oh, does it? Oh, okay, excellent. I had a feeling somebody might pop in. So there you are. So how do you come far? What time will work for you, Val?
I'll try to avoid like the school run traffic because they're all stupid. I shouldn't say that, but
So 10:30, would that be a good
yeah,
time?
yeah,
Yeah,
10:30 is
10:30.
good.
So I'm going to write that down, 10:30 a.m. and that's going to be Tuesday, the 28th of March in Woking. Oh, marvellous.
Was it Woking?
Yes.
Oh, that's even closer to me. I'm 15 minutes away from Woking.
Oh, yeah, I moved to Woking. Yeah. So did you want to make it 10 then? I mean, did you want to go earlier, or is 10:30 still good for you? It's up to you. I don't mind. I'll be up.
10 is good, yeah. Actually, 10
10,
is
yeah.
good, if you
Gives
don't
you a
mind.
chance to get on. Okay, so 10 a.m.
Sorry, ladies. I feel like we're taking over the whole thing.
Yes, okay. Well, I was hoping somebody else might come on, but it's okay if it's just going to be us. I just means I have to do a bit of work. Okay, so Tuesday, the 28th of March, and it'll be in Woking. I'll send you obviously a confirmation email with all the dress and such like at 10 a.m. Fantastic. That'll be delightful to see you. Okay, room for one more if anyone needs me. Okay, so we might as well start because it's 34 now, so I'm not going to get my
I thought Emma was going to turn up because she was looking forward to this.
oh, I don't, oh, well, I'll start. We'll start with a little bit of chat. I've got a small amount of chat. I've got notes actually, which is a miracle. So what I wanted to focus on today was following on from the equinox, really, because it's an auspicious time of year. It's where we have the equal dark and light, and so therefore there is balance. So I thought it was a really good opportunity to look at dark and light. And explore, those two things. And obviously we know, I mean, now I've only just got you, I really don't need to say anything much really, there's nobody who knows so much. But I'm just going to say, we're all dark, we're dark and light, as you know. And we need both the dark and the light to be healed and friends and balanced in order to ascend beyond it. So there's also a kind of we're looking at the polarities and we're looking at dark and light. We're looking at male and female, hot and cold. It sits in that kind of polarity camp as well. So it's worth just remembering that when we're working with those opposites, that polarity can also be present. And that was all I was going to say, really. So really, I was going to go into the meditation, but there's so few of us that we can do a little bit more. So let me ask you, do you have an understanding? Any of you have an understanding of how you feel about who you are in your dark and your light? Who believes that they are light?
I'd say mostly light, but with moments of darkness, of course.
Excellent, excellent. So you're coming from the light and learning about your darkness, and
Yeah.
that's for your mission then. So so it's important that the darkness is a focus in your world because you need to bring it in. The light's easy to see, the dark's harder to understand. So there'll be a lot of opportunities, I'm sure, in your life to witness the darkness, and that have been presented to you in some ways, potentially through relationships and through situations. And
Actually, I've experienced a lot of darkness, but I feel like on the back of it, it brought more light.
Exactly. It's just the polarities coming, whichever
Yeah.
we hold most of, the other one will come to balance it out. It's all about balance, isn't it? So, and of course, each one will teach us about the other because of that balance. Yeah, brilliant. What about you, Faye? Where do you sit on the spectrum?
I'd say slap bang in the middle.
Perfect. Lovely.
Yeah.
You can really identify with the light and feel comfortable within it, trusting it, but you also identify with the dark, happy to go there, and also have a trust in the dark. That's beautiful. Lovely. Fantastic. Alison?
I think, yeah, now after Faye's share, I've definitely been dark, and it's been trying to bring the light in.
Absolutely. And not even knowing it as well, for a certain degree for you, isn't it? For such a long time, it's like you've been hiding from the dark in the light, not necessarily knowing who you were, and not and rejecting it. But I know for your story, Alison, that when we did that shamanic course and you finally came home into the ground, you suddenly realised that you felt more at home than you had before, and so that gave you that indication, didn't it, that the darkness actually was your friend rather than your enemy. So that is, part of the part of the path. Yeah, brilliant. I think you're all fantastic. Unless do you have any questions about any of this? I mean, is there anything coming that you want to ask me at all about anything? I mean, really, is it such a small class? You ask me anything, really.
I'm actually wondering how it's going to pan out because those dualities, everybody talks about the yin, the yang, the positive, negative, and everything. So I wonder how it's going to pan out in this mediumship type of thing, or is it just going to turn up in the meditation?
Okay, so I can tell you what we're going to do. That might help us a little bit, mightn't it? So what I wanted to do is to take you through a meditation, which is going to be connecting you to your guardian of your dark, and then what are you going to witness and sit in the energies and accepting it and feeling and seeing what comes up. So individual. I don't want to lead everyone into micromanaging because I want you to kind of receive what you receive, and then you'll get your message from your dark. Then I'm going to take you into the light. And your light guardian, get opportunity to see your dark guardian, to meet your light guardian, if you haven't already. And then again, what is it you're witnessing, sitting in the energy and acceptance, and asking the guides for any guidance on any message you need to come. So it's getting to know yourself a little bit more in the light and the dark tonight is what I was hoping for. And then what I wanted to do was in your practice. What I want you is to work. Well, we work in pairs, hence why I wanted the fourth wheel. But actually, we could all just work together. I can work you in a circle, and it's a reading of what do you see? How you're sitting in front of somebody. What is their dark? What do you see within their darkness? So you're tuning you bring your darkness in and your dark guardian, and you sit in your darkness, and then you can access and see the darkness in that person. And if there's any messages I want to know, positive and a negative, or maybe what's happening or what needs to be going on. And then again with the light, the same. And then drawing in the reader's going to draw in their light guardian, and then they're going to read the light from the other. So that was how the class was going to pan out, if that sounds okay.
Very clear. Thank you.
Yeah.
Might create some interest somewhere.
Question, if
Yes,
I may.
please.
So if we're more in our darkness or light, we're all healers here, aren't we? Does that mean that, like, when I do a healing or when one does a healing, then that's kind of where we're more drawn? I suppose I'm drawn to kind of like digging out the deep, dirty, dark stuff that stuff like that. And someone who's more in the light, I don't know, would they be doing the same or something different?
This is to do with your contract, really, to do with your soul contract and who you've come in as and what you've got to do, and therefore who you've got working with you. So more than likely, if one is sitting in the dark, then one is going to have guides that are going to work there. But that, I mean, it's not necessarily the law, but it's more of it's a frequency thing. There's more of a tendency. So it's the guidance behind you, coupled with who you really are, that then gives you the power and the strength and the interest to go digging around in the shit. But it's also partly to do with that we're healing ourselves as well, aren't we? So we're getting to that point where we need to dig around in our shit. So we're kind of happily digging around in shit, because we need to access ours. I had a very interesting client that came when I was in Guildford, and she had the strongest light guides I'd ever experienced, and they were so confident that I was barely needed. And even though they needed me, and because I questioned myself, well, why do you need me? You're obviously all powerful. What am I doing here? They couldn't get the dark entity off her. They needed me because I'm from the dark to go in and the law and kick out this thing that she'd had all her life and came in with. And once I'd done it, they just took over. And every time I cleared a little something that they wanted me to do, then they just took over. It was amazing. And they just, it's just this streams of things just clearing around me. It was like, because I'm come from the dark, I don't really see that kind of light. But it was amazing to be able to experience it. So nothing stands alone. Just because I more come from the dark doesn't mean that I can't access the light, or the light can't use me, or, it was something a bit to inspire to. But I have to say that they were very serious. And for me, because I'm still maintaining such a need for fun, that I find that the dark gives me that more than the light. The light can sometimes be a little bit more nonsense and more straight. I mean, I've never seen anything with no corruption in it. There had no corruption in these guides. It was amazing when there's a low level corruption in everything now, and we're getting so used to it. To be able to feel that was like, whoa. So yeah, it's all for the taking, really. It's wherever you. I believe that I've done enough clearing now within my own issues with the light to be able to start accessing it, which is what was evident with that time. That's what I'm going to take from that anyway. Yeah. Any other questions? Questions are good.
Yes, I have another one. At risk of sounding very unintelligent, can you kind of explain what your perception of the dark is? Because it's like humility. I know what it is. I can read the definitions, but I just don't get it.
Well, no, because it's really hard in the dark to get humility, because the dark doesn't often fess up to doing wrong. It's more likely to skulk away and try and get away with what it's doing and go, go over there. If the dark it does want balance. So if you're from the dark, you'll probably find it quite hard to apologize. It doesn't mean that you won't put things right, but it's just really hard to find that humility and really go into that very, very delicate, vulnerable place, because often the dark, its vulnerability is very different from the light. There is vulnerability in the dark, absolutely, but it's very different from the light. It has, as I say, less humility. They are reflections of each other, and obviously they need each other to exist. So if you think of whatever you think of one, the other one's going to hold the polarity, isn't it? And it's so interesting because none of it's right or wrong. You would say that the light holds more trust, perhaps you'd think that more, but you see, for me, that doesn't work for me. I'm trusting in the dark because I know it. I don't find the light particularly trustworthy because I don't understand it, and also because I feel more vulnerable in the light because I'm more exposed. Whereupon in the dark, you can hide a little bit. You can be a bit more secretive. You don't have to show everything. You can just show what you want to show. Whereupon truly in the light are just transparency. So, there's, yeah, that would be, does that help at all? Anymore?
It does. I think I'm really conflicted. All my kind of mind, mental state, all of that is the light stuff.
Yeah.
And it has to be that perfect, basically godlike thing, and that's the aim to get there. But then the human, the patterning, the conditioning, that just feels like it's all the dark stuff. And I'm somewhere.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily going to be the truth. It would be interesting to see. Let's see what comes out within the readings and stuff, and we can ask each other questions and maybe do some more on a personal level when we go through it, because we get I'm going to launch into sort of into you, and we will have lots of time to do that because it's a small class. Does that sound okay? Shall we have a little go at the meditation and see where we get with, and then we can thrash out one's dark and light opinions and observations. Okay, so finding your comfortable positions. I am going to mute you. None of you are noisy, but so yeah, they've muted yourselves. You're pros, aren't you, at this? Look at you go. Okay, so getting into position. So there's a couple of you sitting up. Faye's having a lovely lie down. I'm totally with you on that one. So focusing on your grounding first. So as you close your eyes and enter into your body, the first thing I want you to do is become aware of your grounded energy and call for more. Grounded from your physical, grounded in spirit, so bring your spirit in if your spirit's not already in, and ground that into the earth. Mentally grounded, so your mind is not out there, it's down with you in the earth. And your heart is the last one. So I'm going to leave you to have a little play with that. Physically grounded, spiritually grounded, mentally grounded, and then heart emotionally grounded. Breathing deeply, allowing full permission for grounded energy. And once you feel that you've done all the grounding that you can, become aware of your energy, your balance of left and right. Does your energy feel like it's flowing? Do you feel like there's anywhere that's stuck? Not because there's anything wrong with you, but just because that is what it is right now. Just witnessing and observing. This isn't a test. And if you do feel a little out of balance, it could be just from your day, from the focus of your day. So call your body, your being into balance. See whether you can quite easily, with that direction, with that intention, bring balance into your physical body, into your energy field, to your being. Constantly witnessing, no judgment. The witness does not judge. That's your ego that will judge and have an opinion. Your witness is just watching, just curious, just full of just curiosity. Oh, that's doing that. Oh, that's that. So feeling your center. So now you've balanced a little bit, becoming aware of your central channel of light, your anchor, your plumb line going all the way from the center of the earth, deep in the earth, all the way through your body and out through the top of your head and beyond. your central channel of light. And this is where you can access everything from any realm, any dimension, any time, space. The power in these channels we've only just started to explore. Check in with yourself again. See how you're feeling. Now you've got the witness of your central channel and your grounding. And if, like me, for example, you can't hold your balance this evening, that's fine. We are developing souls. Nothing is perfect constantly. If you get a whisker of a millisecond of perfection, you're lucky. Most of the time, we're constantly moving in and out of balance, accepting yourself completely. We're going to open our chakras up this evening to give them a bit of a dust and an air, also to help us discover more about who we are. We're going to open them all. So we're going to start with the root, the red chakra, inviting your chakra to open. As it opens, it'll dump its top load of anything that's been brewing to go. And as you sit with your root chakra, bringing it into balance with your intention, invite Mother Earth's energy to come up into it. Invite that grounding to come directly into your root chakra, connecting you into the earth energies, to the mother. When you're ready, you move up to your sacral chakra, the orange, lower tummy, lower back, top of your hips. Allowing that chakra to open its gloriousness, exposing you into the world, showing that you're here. Letting go of anything that's on the top layer and drawing in Divine Mother Earth to anchor your sacral, to grounding, to nourishment, to love. Breathing, relaxing, being with yourself. Don't see this as a chore, see this as enjoyment. Enjoying your journey with yourself. As you move up into your solar plexus, the yellow, opening your solar plexus, releasing what's there, and drawing in Divine Mother Earth. Making sure if you're forward focused that you think about the back of your body as well. But if you are very centered, then that's all fantastic. Moving up to the heart chakra, inviting your heart chakra to open. Letting the green energy express itself and letting go of anything that's ready to be released. And you're going to draw the Divine Mother Earth up to the heart, her heart to your heart. Her energy will continue to flow up and down your lower chakras and into your heart. And they really want you to open up to the moon in your heart as well. So as you're connected to the earth through a part of your heart, I want you to sort of reach out and connect into the moon. And whatever moon you feel you're connecting into is your moon for tonight. It'll have a message within it. So if it's a full moon or a new moon, waxing, waning, wherever your moon is in its cycle, that's the moon that you need to connect to tonight. And giving you that support, Grandmother Moon. Very good. And moving up to the throat chakra, opening the throat, dumping the load that is there, blue, making sure that as you open the back of your throat chakra, the back of your neck, that you open those psychic gateways as well, welcoming and sending the signal to your guidance that you are ready to receive them. Now we're not going to draw Mother Earth's light into your throat, we're going to draw down. So we're going to think of the sun as being the representation of the light. And we're going to draw the energy from the sun down into the throat, connecting us to the light. As the earth connected us to the dark. Witnessing, awareness of how that feels. And once the light has had its fill in your throat chakra, just let it descend down into the heart to meet the earth and the moon. So you have all the three in there. The sun, the moon, and the earth in your heart. Nice clear throats as we move up to the crown chakra, the brow chakra, opening the brow. And really allowing yourself to release and let go. Surrender your brow and allow yourself to expand. Trust that your guidance will only let you expand as far as is healthy. If you are somewhere that can travel far, then use your own discernment of how far you want to go in your expansion. Allowing anything to be dumped and drawing in the light, bringing the light into your brow chakra. Witnessing anything that is there to be witnessed. Maybe checking in once again, see how you're feeling, how you've changed, your perceptions change, your frequencies, vibrations, what you feel about yourself now. And then finally we open our crown chakra, expressing those 1,000 petals, welcoming in the light, releasing anything within the crown that is ready to be disposed of, and allowing this light to penetrate through the crown. And it comes all the way through now into the heart, as the Divine Mother Earth comes all the way up to the heart, and the moon sits, as a glorious witness as she is. Very good. We're going to work with the dark first. And in order for us to feel safe and secure, we're going to be placed in beautiful, massive bubbles. Big bubble is going to be around you. And this bubble could hold a crystal energy. You might feel that you're in an obsidian bubble or amethyst bubble, or there's some kind of connection there to the earth. And we're working with pure darkness. There is nothing evil or bad or wrong about pure darkness. In fact, it's beautiful. So welcome in the pure darkness into your bubble. And with that pure darkness, you'll start to become aware of your guardian, the guardian that works with you within the dark. Now, we all need night vision to be in the dark, so you're being given night vision. So you can see into the dark. Feel the guidance that's coming as you welcome your guardian, the dark guardian, in. See them, feel them, know them, trust them. And sit with them. Sit within this beautiful space, creating more awareness. The more you sit and relax, what do you witness? Accept this energy. Ask any questions if you want to, but I'm going to leave you now in this place, If for any reason you really can't sustain it, then just ask it to clear and just sit within the bubble until we catch you up. Enjoy your time with your dark guardian and your darkness. Is there any part of you that's rejecting the purity and love of this darkness? Anything in your body? Is there anywhere where you can't take this in as part of you? An acknowledgement, whatever that is, ask for the healing to unblock it. See what it is, understand it. Very good. Receiving the last message from your dark guardian regarding your darkness, anything you need to know. Thank your dark guardian, and they will leave your bubble and take their darkness with them. The whole bubble will be lifted. If anything's in there you see that might need to be dispersed, need to be healed, sent to the light or to the dark, wherever it needs to go. You don't want it hanging around you, so your bubbles will be lifted. I just want you to take a moment just to go back into that central channel, into your grounding, seeing your chakras open. Be aware of your heart, connection to the moon, the earth, the sun. And then we call upon the guardians of the light. Now, we need the bubbles just as much with the light as the dark. We know there's corruption in everything, so we're not that naive to believe that all things light are all things good. So we put ourselves into the bubble, the beautiful bubble around us, nice and spacious, and we call upon our guardian of light to join us in the bubble, bringing the light with them, so we can experience the light. We can experience the purity of the light and see how we react to it, how we welcome it. So as you sit in the energy, sit in acceptance and witness. Ask the questions you need to. Breathe in the light. Beautiful. Just spend a moment or two just making sure that there's nowhere in your body that is still resisting. Ask the guidance that works with you to help you integrate this light into anywhere that's not willing to take it. See what needs to be cleared. accepting yourself exactly as you are. When you're ready, you can come back into the room. Well done. I felt I needed a little longer than that than I gave you, but it was a good start. So if there's anything interesting, do write it down. If anything you feel you need to remember the messages, etc., etc. It's like a bit like Tigger there with this. There's a movement, isn't there? When I shake, I move and it just goes, ooh. I'm pissed. Okay, getting there? Don't want you to miss out on anything. So, and as it's such a tiny class, gosh, we've got the time, haven't we? So, we're going to give messages, and I've worked it out. Alison is going to give messages to Val. Val is going to give messages to Faye, and Faye is then going to give messages to Alison. So everybody gets a turn, and I just get to watch. So, I'm such a lazy person, I really am. So the messages are as I mentioned. Whoever you're working with, you are going to what do you see in the their dark? Positive and negative. What do you see in their light? Positive and negative. Now, it's entirely up to you how you want to play this. If you are the sort of person that is just likes to just get on with it, then channel it straight through. If you're somebody who's better at writing it, then you can write it. If you feel totally stumped and you don't know where to go from, I often find that cards are quite good, archetypes especially. It might give you a bit of a leg up. Not that you need any of that at all, but I'm just teaching like there was 100 people on the screen, but practicing. For later in the day. But yes, so it's entirely up to you. What do you feel, Alison? What do you feel? Who are you? Or do you want to just go straight in there with Val, or do you want some time to write out a few things and channel a few stuffs?
No, I'm either straight in there, and I know I use cards as a crutch, so.
Okay, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Val, are you happy to go straight in there as we just go one at a time? Faye, do you need to write stuff down, or are you happy to just to channel it? Yeah, you're kind of both. Well, I tell you what, we're going to start with Alison. And she is going to be doing the reading on Val. So you are very welcome if you have stuff coming for Alison to crack on and do your writing, so we can do it all. And I will focus on these two lovely ladies by supporting Alison and with the love. So you do what you need to do, Faye. Faye, you're reading Alison. Alison's reading Val, and Val's reading Faye. Yep, got it. Okay, so it's your show, Alison. First of all, you're going to focus on the dark. So what you need to do is call in your connection to your darkness, your dark guardian, accessing the dark, because that's where it's going to be easier for you to see Val from. And then you're asking the darkness, connecting into Val's darkness, to ask, please show me some positive and some negative aspects of Val's darkness.
Okay, so I have a like cat lady guide, and she came in and it was just like, ooh, who do we have here, pretty? And then it was just Val standing there, but there was no, it was completely black. There was just no outline. And it's like the light wants to kind of flash on, but it's scared in this dark place. It feels hiding. So as if I blend into the background, then you just won't be able to see me here. But it doesn't feel like you're scared of it. There's some sort of discomfort with being in the dark. And suddenly, my arms just go numb and I really want to cry. And I think that's more related to how I experience this. And for me, that it feels like the inner child's kind of taking over and just doesn't want to be down there. And it feels like the cortisol's going, and yeah, I think the inner child really has a problem with being there. So kind of asking the positive, you don't have an issue with being in the dark, but this inner child part really just feels like a bit kicking and screaming and just get me out of here now.
Very good awareness. Well done. And the light now. So your job is to say thank you. I think you've got Bass with you. I think there's a wonderful dark underworld guide, female cat-like, and it sounds like you've got her coming through. Okay, so to ask her to step back and then bring in the light, your light guardians, and see what positive and negative can you tell about Val.
okay, this feels very new to me, this connecting to the light and dark. So sorry, it's
No, that's what you're here for. You know, there's no written test at the end of the week. It's okay.
I kind of got a Gandalf figure coming through, which I was very disappointed at, but there you go.
You've got a wizard.
Well,
I
I love the wizard. And when I connect into you, Val, it's like when I'm on the light, I'm off. And when I connect into you, you just feel really grounded in the light. And it's like you're pulling me back in. And it's like you've really got a handle on this light. And it's just like I'm completely all over the place in it.
That's good awareness, Alison.
I can feel your heart, how big your heart is, how much love there is in there, and it just feels like it's just expanding further and further and bigger. But it feels like feels like I want to say splinter, but it's not, but something small, but it is corruption. Feels like a round dark thing, and then there's a black cord coming out, and that is somehow attached to the dark, going into the dark. And it feels like that's the inner child portion. That's what that's linked to. And then I just get the sense of like this monster just want to crawl up the cord and into me, kind of thing. I'm trying not to let my fear take over, but I think that feels like the inner child fear, that maybe there's that kind of link that, you know, the darkness is potentially coming in. Feels like a very thin cord. When I ask who is Val in the positive, in the light, it is light, is expansive, it's an angel. And then asking who you are in the negative aspect of the light, it just felt like it was even more light, just everywhere.
Blinded by the light. So like a discipline, maybe. Dare I say.
Feels like you want to be so much light that take over everything, and maybe an aspect of controlling and fixing others so that everything's light around you. Brilliant.
Alison, well done. That's very good. No, that was really good. Thank your light guardians, and then do what you need to do. Remember, you are protected. Nothing you would have come head butted today is going to get in there, because you are in that guardianship. Brilliant, Val. How did you receive those words, my angel?
Gosh, everything was amazing. So you probably didn't notice, Alison, but my cat turned up on my chest. So she basically, she was there, and she's too old, so I had to put her on my chest, and she just stays there. So when you said the cat lady, I was like, yeah, that's me, clearly. And everything that you've described it's exactly how I felt when I visited the dark and the light. So the dark was very much surprisingly soothing and comfortable. And initially my guide was tiny and then he became massive, but he was small at the beginning, not to scare me. So, I mean, I can't, I would need to watch the recording again, but everything that you've met, and the inner child that was scared, yes, 100%. And this is probably why I've been putting aside the dark side, because of this scary feeling that's still linked to being swallowed into another dimension as a kid. And the light was very much, so when you said Gandalf, it's really funny because who turned up was Lord Melchizedek, and he looks just like Gandalf with a big white beard. And I was actually playing with his beard and like, oh, this is so soft and this is so light. That was really nice. And I'm not surprised there's a link. The splinter in the heart makes sense. And yeah, I mean, I'm more used to the light. So I was like, oh, easy, I'm here. A bit like too sure of myself. Of course I know you. Of course I know how you work. And then when you say, well, a bit too much light, I was like, okay, yeah, okay.
Well done. There's the humility.
Yeah, and like, okay, now be humble and fuck off, basically. So that was really good, Alison. I mean, I could tick everything that you said.
Brilliant. That's wonderful feedback. Thank you, Val. That's lovely. How are you feeling, Val? Are you ready to work with Faye, or do you want Faye to do Alison? Wait, I don't want to overload you, but are you okay to crack on, or do you want 5 minutes?
If I could have 5 minutes, actually, I wouldn't
Yeah,
mind.
that's fine. I'm sure Faye won't mind coming online and doing her.
That was so funny. When you were talking about that, the first thing I thought was Val as a kid disappearing into a vortex. In like when you were about 11 or I don't know how old, like I don't know, a little kid. 6, just straight into like going into it. Like yeah. And when you were talking about the moon, I was just thinking about the moon as well in the meditation. When you said
Excellent.
I started pissing myself laughing. That's why I was
Well
laughing.
done.
In the
That's
meditation.
great. It's nice being ahead of the game, and it was a surprise to me. It wasn't in the script. It was what was brought in. So
I was just thinking of it.
you're all moon goddesses in some way, and you all need that connection to the moon to give you that stability, and that extra third goddess. It's just the triple goddess energy, isn't it? They were bringing to you because you're all goddesses, which is lovely. And there you are, already connecting to that moon. Well done, Faye. So are you ready, my angel? Are you ready to connect to Alison? So first we're going to work with the dark. So I want you to take a moment just to reconnect to your dark guardian and the dark itself, drawing it around you, because they are what's going to support you to read Alison. And what do you see there for her, and what is in the positive and the negative?
So the first thing is like it feels very much like it's pulling, like the darkness is literally coming around her. So it feels like it's like a sphere. And it's quite calming. This has come up twice. There's like a tarot card, like a justice card for you, Alison. I got the word arbiter. And you feel like you've got a very masculine energy, like a very old energy, like the dark in the dark. It feels very heavy, but it feels very earthy, like secretive. Yeah, it's very. it feels like you don't want to connect with that masculine side almost. That controlling power side. There's like a fear of of that person. Now I'm just seeing like a match. I don't know why that. There's something very secretive. Yeah, it's like there's something you don't want to remember or be a part of. I don't know what it is. Quite like a judge almost, but yeah, that's that kind of feeling. That's when you said a cord, I don't see a cord. I saw a rope, like a piece of rope as well. That's kind of it, really. It was just like a feeling in a sort of scene almost.
No, beautifully put. So what would you say sums up some of the positive and the negative aspects of Alison in the Dark? Ask your guides, remember? You don't have to work hard.
Wisdom is a positive.
Yeah.
Feels like you want to be a fair judge of things, but there's a fear that you're not, or there's a kick out of not being fair or something. There's a coldness too. That's
Really beautifully done. Well done. That was lovely, Faye. So thanking your guardians, your guardians were working with you and bringing these messages and just allowing them to step back and drawing in your light guardian when you're ready to connect to Alison and read her light.
So totally different. So while it was closing in, it's now going, and it's like prismy, really fast, a bit like an LSD trip, to be honest. Like very lots of mad fucking rainbow lights everywhere.
Imagine.
Quite prismy, like very celestial. You look. It's funny you got like an old man and now like an old woman, like the old woman from Titanic. But very cosmic, kind of like. Yeah. Literally the opposite, just much more in the completely in the feminine.
And what would you say her positive and negative aspects in the light are?
Quite erratic for the negative. Like but the positive feels very joyous, like almost like childlike, even though it's an old woman, like a very childish kind of energy. Very fun. But yeah, a little bit, like a bit erratic. Yeah, that's that kind of.
Brilliant. Well done, sweetheart. That was nicely done. You can ask your light guides to step back and bring you into neutral form. Alison, do you want to give some feedback to Faye while we've got the time and effort?
That sounds about right, erratic. And now I know why I haven't done drugs. I don't need to.
I think that was an interesting conversation. I think there's a lot to ponder on that.
I've written a lot down. It's interesting. I've been doing a lot of tarot, and then the card came up, the Justice, and in the meditation, sorry to cut you off, Anna, when Anna said about, balancing the light and the dark, the feminine side was dark and the masculine side was light.
Did you see the two pillars?
No, it's like inside my body, it's like the masculine side's light and the feminine side's dark. And then you saw exactly the opposite, which I think that's amazing.
Beautiful, beautifully done. Well done, ladies. Fantastic. Val, my darling, are you ready? Ready as you ever be?
Yes.
We're now gonna read Faye, who can sit back and enjoy the ride. So when you're ready, I'm calling in your dark guardian, connecting back into that lovely darkness, and asking those beautiful guardians if they would bring some information on what they see within Faye, within her darkness, in her positive and negative.
He's giggling.
Here we go.
Nobody's like,
Lovely.
oh my God, Faye's my old pal. Like, oh, you know, I know her.
Yeah.
It's like a not a long lost friend, but it's
Very familiar. It feels very familiar.
yeah. It's there's a lot of connection. There's a lot of banter between my pure darkness and her pure darkness. It's it's quite playful, actually. You know, it's like an old friend, you know, coming and going, this on your head or something. I mean, it makes me giggle. You know, the whole scene. So it's very familiar, very at ease. Everybody's at ease. Now the negative side is probably too at ease and spending a bit too much time in that. Maybe because it's the easy option, like, you know, oh yeah, I can access the light, the dark, and yeah.
Can I ask a question? Could you ask the guides about Faye? Does she recognize her power in the dark?
Not fully.
Too much time having fun, not enough time recognizing her power.
Yeah, not fully. There's a lot more that can be uncovered, actually. Yeah, and some discipline. Like I get like the school teacher going, now children, you stop playing and just focus on what you can achieve and what you can do. But yeah, these two need to be reminded that playing is good, but there's a lot more they can be doing. So having fun and giggling is great, but then they need to do the work, do some work.
Sometimes the fun can be a bit of a mask to what the real work is underneath. So how would they think about that within Faye? Sometimes is she maybe avoiding her power because of that seriousness, and she'd rather stay in the fun? Is that part of her lessons to recognize that?
The lesson is more something like, I mean, maybe it's going to be along those lines, but have some fun and then get down to do the job and have the discipline and have the focus to know that, yes, it's fun and it's familiar, but there's so much more you can tap into and you can access. It feels like there's 20% covered and 80% uncovered.
Beautiful. Yeah. Lovely. Thank you for honoring my questions.
They've calmed down now. It's been told off.
No, it's all good. No, it's beautiful. Thank you, guys. Thank your dark guardians. I think they were very succinct and to the point, as you say, straight to the truth there.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to be a long one. I don't think you're going to be a long reader, Val. I think you're straight in there. And so as you let them go with great thanks and love, and then you welcome in the guardians from the light to connect into phase light. And then what do you see? What do they need to know?
So it's funny because the term justice turns up as well.
Often.
And you know the scale that comes with the justice? It's coming back also to what Faye said about being in balance with the light. And yeah, fairness and justice comes into play. So there's a it feels like the negative aspect is like there's a bit of an ego battle where kind of my guide is better than you, no, my guide is better than you, and this needs to stop. Because actually they realize that even though they come in different physical shapes, like the way they appear is very different, they're equal, and they can be, yeah, balance is really key in the whole thing. It's bright and expansive. The negative aspect can be a little bit like a whirlpool that sucks things in, but too quickly. It's like a tornado, it's just too quick. Whereas a lot of light can happen on a calm lake. You know, you see those pictures in Scotland where there's no wind and it's just like a
silent pool.
Yeah. So being more into the quiet as opposed to the current type of thing, energy.
Very good. Yeah. Good advice. Beautifully put. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that everything?
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much to your guardians. I've asked them to step back and bring you into neutral form. Faye, anything to come back with that, my angel?
Yeah, I was wondering about the power in the darkness. Yes, I've been wondering about that quite a lot because people always come up to me anyway, but a lot of people in pain, you know, always my whole life, even from little, and I've always wondered about that. I think that's a strength of mine, but I'm not really sure what like. You know, I could tell you horror stories about just looking after people like who are in a bad way and stuff, just to zone in. But
and you can hold the space for them. That's the thing, isn't it? Well, there's no easy answer to this. It's about finding your way, trusting. You had a little inroad today to connect to your dark guardian, sit more with them, allow them to teach you and open up to more of your abilities and where they want the service, because that power is there. But also they're taking me into the land and outside in nighttime, and your rituals and your moon and your stars and your connection to the dark, and how comfortable and how much of a celebration that you already do. You're doing a lot of it naturally without even really knowing what you're doing. You're just doing it because it feels good and it's fun. It's back to that again. So the dark will lead you through the fun, but it just wants you to notice that it has more in it than just that. And that you are more than just that within the dark. So there's more to come, isn't there? There's more to learn. And Val brilliantly brought that forward for you to understand today.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Well done, everybody. That was a really good session. You've done really well tonight. We're wide open. I cannot leave you like that. As much as I want to go downstairs and get stoned, I am going to close you all down because that's what a good teacher does. Okay, my angels, let's turn yourselves inwards. You've done some great service. You've had some great connections. You've done some great focus. Be very proud of yourselves. Just taking a moment to receive some healing rays, some little rain clouds coming over you. Just need to be cleaned through just because of the nature of the work tonight and where we went and who was messing around with you. So just taking in that little bit of healing particles just to clean through your auric field and those chakras before we close them. Thanking your guides from the dark and the light and asking everyone to step back fully now. And we're going to move through our chakra system, and we're going to go top to bottom, I think. Feels right to go up to the crown chakra. We honour the light first. We give thanks to the light as we close the crown chakra. Those 1,000 petals come around, shining your light through your system. Once your crown is closed, you honour your brow chakra and invite that to close. And as we close these chakras, we ask for them to be aligned and connected to each other and into universal consciousness, to the divine intelligence. So we move to the throat chakra, and as we close, invite the throat chakra to close. All the different chambers close within the throat that are connected into everywhere, and those psychic gateways gently close at the back. Moving down when you're ready to the heart, center. And in the heart, we honor the light, we honor the dark, we honor the moon, the sun, the earth. And we invite the heart chakra to close, connecting to all those aspects, the sun, the moon, and the earth, holding them in your heart so we know that we're part of them and they are part of us. Creating a belonging, a welcome. Giving and receiving of the light and the love and the wisdom. Green chakra closing. Giving thanks to the light. As we move down into the solar plexus. And we invite the solar plexus, the yellow, to close. Honouring the wisdom in the dark. Moving down to the sacral, the orange, inviting your orange chakra to close, honouring the creativity, the birth within the dark. And then when that's closed, move down to the root, closing the root red chakra. And finally, we honour Mother Earth and the darkness itself. And then we're going to become aware of the central channel of light. We've closed our chakras, we've honoured light and dark, and what you're given is the most magnificent magenta light is being placed through your sacred channel. It's really beautiful, and it's honouring you. This light is honouring you. This is a thank you. This is a love, an unconditional universal love that is actually saying thank you. So please take that thanks and really enjoy it. Let it go into your body, into your mind, into your heart, into your spirit. And we give thanks this evening for each other's company, for the wisdom, for the messages, to the guides. Namaste. Coming back when you're ready. Well done. That was brilliant. What you'll find is the fewer people, the longer it takes. Always. You think, oh, a couple of people, we might finish early tonight. No hope. We're more likely to finish early with 12 than we are with 3. I just thought I'd let you know that's the pattern of my work. Thank you so much for joining me. I've really enjoyed it. It's been fantastic. I hope you've taken something away. I really believe you have. You know, looking forward to the end of March. Make your way through it the best you can. Try not to kill anybody. And I look forward to seeing you next month, hopefully, if it all aligns. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye bye.